Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Alex, and this is the first of hopefully more episodes of Fat Boy Chronicles featuring me, Alex. Right? Okay, so we're gonna make crab cakes. I had some extra crab in the house, and I'm gonna make some crab cakes with a lemon tarragon aioli, and we're gonna do a salad. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for dressing just yet, but we're definitely gonna make these crab cakes. So if you've never made crab cakes before, or you want to learn how to make crab cakes my way, all right, come follow me. All right. All right, crab cakes are actually surprisingly simple to cook. It's not really a lot to go in it. One of the main things people do is add too much and try to make crab cakes too fancy. It doesn't need a lot. You right? Is you have a premium ingredient, you want to make sure you taste the crab. So we have just a couple things we're going to use to make our crab cakes. All right, watch. All right, we're going to need a little mayonnaise, a little Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of mustard, an egg. I have some red pepper, some green onions, some scallions, my own little seasoning mix. Got this bacon fat, and I think I know what I'm going to do for my salad, so put that to the side. All right, so basically this is all you need. Again, we have Worcestershire sauce, mayonnaise, an egg, mustard, seasoning, a little seasoning blend. I don't use Old Bay. I kind of have my own seasoning blend, peppers, and onions. All right, guys, on a medium heat, I've just melted a little bit of butter, so this is maybe about a half tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to add my red bell peppers to it real quick. All right, we're gonna let these cook just for a brief moment. The main thing about these bell peppers, right, you don't wanna add too many of them, especially red bell peppers, because their flavor is kind of intense, and you don't want these to brown. You just want these to soften a little bit. So we're not gonna cook them until they're just completely deconstructed and brown. You're just gonna cook them just to soften them up. And feel free to add a little bit more butter if you need to, because butter makes, again, everything better. All right, while the bell peppers are going, and I'm going to cut that fire on low, in a bowl, let's mix about a quarter cup of just regular, everyday Walmart brand, is what I use, mayonnaise, okay? To that mayonnaise, we're going to add a little bit of Worcestershire, a little stone ground mustard, and an egg, all right? Again, we have mayonnaise, a little stone ground mustard, egg, and a little Worcestershire sauce. Now again, this is not exact measurements, but you don't want to add too much, okay? So you can always add more, you can't take it out. So you can always just be modest, and you can taste everything as you go before putting the egg in. All right, to this mixture, I'm gonna add my seasoning. So in this seasoning blend, guys, I have, it's basically a Cajun seasoning. So I have a little bit of thyme, a little bit of parsley, a little garlic powder, a little onion powder, a little oregano, just some herbaceous flavors, nothing too much. You probably have everything already in your cabinet. All right, but again, same rule applies. You can always add, you can't take out. So we'll just add a little bit. If you like it spicy, feel free to add like some Tabasco or some hot sauce. I'll be careful on too much, something that's too vinegary, because it can alter the taste of your crab. All right, everybody, so in this bowl, I've added my crab meat. So I have both lump crab meat and claw crab meat. Now I know, fancy restaurants just use lump. I actually enjoy the flavor of a good claw meat. I think it's a little more crabbier, actually. So I have about 8 ounces of each. So 8 ounces of the lump, 8 ounces of the claw. All right, to this, we're gonna add some crackers. Now, people use different crackers. I use Ritz crackers in mine because, one, they have a buttery flavor, so you don't have to add additional butter. And hey, they're just good flavored crackers, right? So anything you add, it just tastes good on its own. If it doesn't, you shouldn't add it. So if you're gonna add a cracker and you're adding saltines and you don't like the way saltines taste, don't add them. All right, so what I have now, I have my red bell peppers. So I just let them, remember I said, just let them cook a little bit just to soften up. You don't want them to brown. Mine actually browned a little bit, but it's okay. All right, so you want to make sure you add, you let them cool, because you don't want to add these hot bell peppers to that crab, especially when you add the sauce in there that has egg in it. You don't want things like curdle and stuff. So what we just did is let these peppers, let me show you quick. All right, so just a little bit of these red bell peppers. Again, like I said, the flavor in here is intense, so you can always just taste as you go, not add too many of them. And then I just took some crackers. This is about 8 Ritz crackers, just crushed them with my hand, nothing fancy. And it's okay to have a coarse crush on it, it doesn't have to be fine, because their main job is just to serve as a binder for your crab cakes. Again, hey, and if you ever, I can't stand a crab cake. You paid all that premium money for a crab cake and it's full of a whole lot of filler. So the star of the show is crab. That's why it's crab cake. not cake, with a little crab in it, right? So you want to make sure the crab shines. So we don't want to add too much to it where you lose the actual flavor of the crab. All right, here in our bowl, I've added the red bell pepper to the crab meat. And again, we have claw meat and lump meat. And now I'm gonna add my green onions. I'm just using the tops of the green onions because that's all I want to add. All right, and so that's just about four, about 4 green onions, just the tops. Then I'm adding to that, and then to that, I'm gonna add my crackers, and then to that, I'm gonna add my sauce. Now, you do not want to add your sauce all at the same time. You just kind of want to spoon it in, and we're gonna do a light toss. You do not want to overmix this because otherwise you're gonna lose the lumps in your crab meat, and it's gonna be all pasty and stringy. It's gonna be more like salmon croquettes than crab cakes. And you want to make sure that when you serve it, people can actually see the lumps of crab. So I'm gonna toss it with my hands, nice and gently. So there's my crab meat with everything mixed in. I'm about to add my sauce, and like I said, you're just gonna add a little bit. That's all I'm gonna add for right now. I'm gonna toss this, and the best thing to do is actually toss it with your hands because then you get a chance to feel how sticky it is, and you can adjust as needed. All right, so I'm just gonna do a soft mix. And you just want it to be such that it's starting to blend, and you just gently toss it. All right, mine's gonna use a little bit more, and then that's it. All right, guys, so I mixed it. So in here again, you have green onions, red bell peppers. You have your mayonnaise, which is basically mayonnaise, eggs, some seasonings, and then you have the crab. Now, if you look closely, you can still see big chunks of crab, which is what you want to see. The only way you're going to see that is if you don't overmix. Now that we got everything mixed in, we're going to put it in the refrigerator so that the crackers can absorb a lot of that moisture from the crab. So let's give it about 45 minutes to an hour in the refrigerator. All right, everybody. So we are going to make our aioli now, right? So the crab cakes, well, the crab's not cakes yet. The crab is in the refrigerator, 45 minutes to an hour, just so those crackers can absorb that moisture. You don't want a soggy, really moist crab cake because it's not going to crisp up and get that crunch on, you know what I'm saying, that nice crunch on the outside with a lot of moisture. So we're gonna make our aioli. Now the name aioli is just mayonnaise, right? So don't let that name scare you. Restaurants use those terms and aioli, right? So you think it's super fancy. It's flavored mayonnaise. So that's all we're gonna do. So real simple to make it. All right, let's go over these ingredients really, really quick. All we're gonna use is some mayonnaise, some mustard. Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna use the mustard. Mayonnaise, lemon, and tarragon. Okay, that's all we're gonna need for this. All right. You can always add other things. Now, if I had time, I would have definitely used roasted garlic. Roasted garlic would have been great in this, but roasted garlic takes about 45 minutes to an hour to make. So I'm going to use garlic powder. Whenever possible, use fresh ingredients as opposed to anything that's canned or jarred or anything like that, because just the quality is better. If I really, really had time, I would have made a mayonnaise from scratch, but I don't have that kind of time because I'm hungry and I am a fat black man. So it's kind of important that I eat, you know what I'm saying, before I get hangry. So we're going to make this aioli really, really quickly, okay? All right, to make this aioli, it's super simple. What I put in here, this is about a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. Again, I'm eyeing this. This is not an exact measurement. We're going to use the juice of half a lemon. All right, get you a lemon squeezer if you don't have one. It's a kitchen tool that everybody needs. You get all of the juice, none of the seeds. I'm going to use a little garlic powder again because I don't have any fresh garlic. We're going to use a little paprika, and then tarragon. Tarragon is, again, something, if you're not using it, you need to use it, right? It's the perfect accompaniment for anything that's seafood. It's just a great flavor to it. Again, use fresh herbs whenever possible. But we're going to put I have about 2 stalks of tarragon. We're going to strip the leaves off of the stem. We're going to chop these up pretty fine, and then we're going to make this aioli. All right, so like I just said before, I have about a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise in here, a little garlic powder, some smoked paprika. I think I might have actually put a little too much in there, but I like smoked paprika. If ever, you could always adjust it, add a little bit more mayonnaise and stretch it out. This keeps. It's good for a whole lot of other things besides these crab cakes. You can use it for any kind of seafood. And then we're going to add the tarragon, right? So again, tarragon, you want to add a little bit. You can always add. You can't take it out. So I'm just going to put a little bit, and then I'm going to whisk it up. Right, so just gonna whisk it. I'm doing it solo dolo, so you know what I'm saying, I don't have anybody to hold the camera for me, so just doing it by myself, and it's all good. All right, so I'm gonna keep whisking it, and then you're gonna taste as you go. All right, so adjust your seasonings. If it needs more garlic, add more garlic. If it needs a little salt, add a little more salt. I think I'm gonna add just a little bit of cayenne pepper because I like things spicy, but that's my taste, right? So you do what you like at your house. All right, so aioli is done. Boom. All right, I tasted my aioli. It definitely needed some more tarragon in mine, so I just added some more tarragon, right? So it's super simple. Don't let tarragon or aioli intimidate you. Basically, it's mayonnaise with leaves in it, right? So super simple. You can do it. All right, so I'm adding a little bit more tarragon for me so that I just wanted to get some of that herbaceous flavor. All right, so we got the aioli made. We got the crab cakes in the refrigerator. We're about to put those in the oven shortly, right? So then I told you all before, hey, we got to make something to go with these crab cakes. You just can't be eating crab cakes. I'm going to make a salad, right? So I have some arugula lettuce. Arugula is always really good because it's a good peppery lettuce, and it's a good hearty winter lettuce, so it's able to hold up to a lot of to a dressing, right? So I say, hey, what am I gonna make for a dressing? Didn't know quite yet, and man, I'm gonna tell y'all about the Holy Ghost, right? I love the Holy Ghost, right? Because the Holy Ghost leads you into all truth. Holy Ghost, hey, downloads ideas, stuff that you couldn't come up with your own. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a bacon dressing, right? So bacon dressing, I'm sure you probably had it on a spinach salad. My take is going to be a little different. So let me flip my camera around real quick. All right, so what I do have, this is something I made a while ago that, hey, one day I have to show you how to make it. This is an onion, bacon, jalapeno jam that I made. That's right here. So I'm going to use that as my base. I got some pepper. I got some stone ground mustard. Hey, I got some chocolate balsamic vinegar. Don't let the name chocolate throw you off. It's really good. That chocolate offers a depth of flavor that is just really outstanding. And then I got some bacon fat. Now, if you don't have bacon fat on the ready, I doubt your cooking skills because you just need bacon fat. And if you don't eat bacon, I'm gonna pray to God delivers your mind, right? Because if you're not eating bacon, why? Like, what's going on? All right, so these ingredients real quick, we're gonna just do a little quick emulsification with that fat and this vinegar, and then we're gonna make a quick dressing. All right, guys, so in this bowl is real simple. All it is the bacon jam. Now, so this is something I made earlier. This has Vidalia onions, bacon, jalapenos, garlic. It's a little vinegar into it, but not too much. You just slow cook it. Like one day I'll do a video and I'll show you guys how to make it. But it's a really good jam. It goes good on anything, especially burgers, right? So just mustard and then the bacon, onion, jalapeno jam. Now, again, if you're a real cook, you should have bacon fat on the ready. Anytime you cook bacon, you store that fat. We're gonna put a bit of bacon fat in there. And then, now I'm not using any kind of exact measurements here because I'm just going as the Holy Ghost leads, right? All right, so then I'm gonna put a little bit of chocolate balsamic vinegar in there. And then we're gonna whisk this up, which is gonna emulsify the oil and the vinegar together. And then we'll have our dressing for our salad. All right, there we go. So here we go, we have it. This is our bacon dressing. Hey, and I just tasted it. This boy is amazing, right? Because it's got the savoriness of the bacon. There's a sweet element there with the jam. I put a little brown sugar in there. Y'all didn't see that. I did it off camera because it just needed a little sugar. There's that pucker of that vinegar, and then it's not just regular vinegar. Now, if you don't have chocolate vinegar, you can use like a apple cider vinegar. It's really good as well. I would add a little bit of sugar to that if I were you, just to kind of cut on some of that pucker, I guess. But you need it, right? So to each his own. Everybody's flavor palette is a little different. All right, but this is just what I did for my house, right? So okay, so this is done. I'm gonna toss this with the arugula, and that's gonna serve as our base for our crab cakes. Now I cut my oven up to 500 degrees. Because we're getting ready to bake these crab cakes. I like baked crab cakes better than fried crab cakes. And the secret is you want to put your pan in the oven first before you even take the crab cakes and make the crab cakes, because you want, now, another thing, invest in a good cast iron skillet. Every good cook needs a good cast iron skillet. But we're going to put this on in the oven so that's already hot. And so then as soon as we get our crab cakes on this pan, it's going to do a good sear. So when a good we're going to get a good browning on it. All right. All right. So we've taken now our crab cakes out of the refrigerator. Now they're nice and cold. They've also absorbed, those crackers have done exactly what they were supposed to do. All right, so I'm just taking an ice cream scoop. This is, I think this is a 4-ounce ice cream scoop. We're just gonna take a little scoop of good crab meat. Again, be gentle. Now, I can't do this with 2 hands because, again, like I said, I'm in the crib solo dolo today. But I'll show you how one looks, all right? So you're gonna make a mound. Now, this is gonna look really pretty when you bake it. So it's a mound. Only thing we're gonna do is maybe pat it down just a little bit. And then we're gonna put a little butter on this and we're gonna put it in our skillet, and then we're gonna have some really pretty crab cakes. All right, everybody, you can see it. I made my crab cakes. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good ones out of here. Now, until my skillet is ready, I want to definitely put these. You can even put these in the freezer, but you want these to stay cold until you're ready to cook them, because you can already see you don't want them to start falling apart. All right, so as soon as that skillet is ready and hot, we're gonna put it in the oven. All right, so the pan is hot, the crab cakes are made, the dressing is made, the salad is about ready to go. All right, so I'm about to open this oven up. We're gonna take this, now this pan is really, really hot, right? So we're about to take this pan, because remember the oven's at 500 degrees. About to take this pan out, add these crab cakes in, and we're only gonna cook them for about 10 minutes. They don't need a lot of time to cook, because again, remember, crab meat is already cooked. So all you people that's doing like crab boils and all that stuff and cooking the crab for 17 hours and all that, the crab is already cooked. Don't overcook crab, all right? So we're about to take it, put it in the pan, and then we'll be ready to serve in about 10 minutes. All right, I don't know if you all can see this on camera or not, but I got a smoking hot skillet. And you see they was already kind of falling apart. I'm gonna add my crab cakes. Nice and tall. You see they're already sizzling. So they're gonna brown. One doesn't want to cooperate. It's being rebellious over there. So I'll come back to that one. All right. So they're already popping. And then what I did here, I have a herb butter. So this is basically, it's a Cajun butter basically. So it's butter and that same Cajun seasoning I already had before. I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of that on the top. All right, while the crab cakes are in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and dress my salad. So again, I have arugula lettuce. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour my bacon dressing. You see how shiny and stuff that is? Man, that's shiny because all that bacon fat, right? That's deliciousness up in there. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna toss. I don't like an overdressed salad either. And if I would have had some Parmesan cheese, that would have been off the chain. Man, I don't have none. But all right, we're gonna pretend I got some. All right, so I'll put a little bacon dressing in there. We're gonna toss it, and then we could always add more. Remember, what you can't take out. Hey, I just tasted this salad. Hey, this salad's good. This salad's actually amazing. So I'm ready to plate. All right, I'm gonna use my hands. I washed them, and I'm at my house by myself, so I can do this. But you know, if you're doing this for other people, of course you want to use gloves. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of set a base for my crab cakes, which is my arugula salad. All right, it kind of looks wild, but we're gonna make sure the plate looks good once we are ready. All right, crab cakes are out, and they looking really good. All right, so because you still have that hot skillet, they're gonna still remain cooking for a little bit. And the presentation side is actually gonna be the bottom, because, and that's the side you wanna show. All right, so we're just gonna let these sit, cool off for just a few moments, and then we'll be ready to serve it up. And boom, there you go. Crab cakes on top of a bed of bacon dressed arugula salad. And then don't forget, we still have our aioli that we're gonna put on top. So, hey, it's looking real good. It's about to taste even better. All right, everybody. So, hey, we're at the culminating part, the best part of the whole experience, the eating part, right? So, hey, I poured the aioli up. I was getting ready to do like a really cool design or something, like decorate the plate really nice, but the texture of aioli just really didn't allow for that. So I just had to put it in a cup on the side, but it's still about to be good. All right, so we're about to eat. The most important part, right? So let me flip this camera around. All right, so again, we have our crab cakes, we have our dressed arugula, and we got that aioli. And I'm trying to tell you that aioli is something special. All right, so I'm gonna break into one of these crab cakes. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a good crunch on the outside. And notice, hey, this is all, this is crab. This isn't like, a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm gonna take it, dip it. Let me flip this camera around so y'all can see me taste it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's crabby. It's filling. You get that lettuce, got a good crunch to it. You got layers of crunch. You got that really good flavor coming from that sauce. This is a winner. Make it at home. When you make it, message me, tag me, whatever. Let me know how it came out your way. You may not make it the way I made it, but you're gonna make it for your house, right? So, hey, when you do it, let me know. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed this. This is Cooking with Alex. Simply Scrumptious. All right, and this shit's gonna be delicious. All right, just like my shirt says. I know it's backwards on here, but this shit is gonna be delicious. All right, see y'all next time.